we do want to play a few because I think a lot of you are probably, tuned into some more conservative news last night. But you may have, especially after President Trump won or was on the path to winning, it was certainly fun to occasionally click over to an MSNBC and watch them try to they were just squirming in their seats. Who could they blame next? Black women? Could they blame white women? Could they explain men, young men, college students? Oh, where are those college student votes? Middle Easterners, Arabs.
I definitely think that we should play this clip from CNN.
Well,
again,
politically,
they were trying their best to hold it together. But here's a clip from CNN. This is obviously John King.
Are there any places that the vice president is overperforming Joe Biden in 2020? So we could show you that as well. We just bring that out here. Harris overperforming in 2020.
Holy smokes.
There you go. So let this go away and see if there's anything on the east side there.
Literally nothing?
Literally nothing.
Literally not one county?
By 3% or more. At least in the county right now, and so you come in full county there. So there you see, but that's states, yeah. So in counties, in 58 counties, we just showed Donald Trump was over 1,000 counties of the 4,600 counties and townships across America. So if you do the full county level, there's where you see Harris at the moment. Again, there might be more out here in the West Coast. It's possible one or two more as they finish the count here. But in the states that matter, again, I just showed you all those Trump counties. In one county in battleground Pennsylvania, she's outperforming President Biden by 3% or more.
And that was sort of when the tide started to really turn.
Well, and also when you look at some of those counties where Donald Trump overperformed, you look at Florida, Miami-Dade County, Joe Biden won by 7.3%. Miami-Dade County, you'd expect to lean Democrat in 2020. He won by 7.3% in 2020, which is a big number, but actually what you would expect, actually a little bit better for Trump in Miami-Dade. In 2024, against Kamala Harris, Donald Trump won it by 11.5%. That is an 18.8% swing in 4 years away from Democrats.
These were the social issues, pushing abortion like crazy, pushing the men in sports, the men in the locker rooms, all these kind of things, to a community that fled communism, socialism, and authoritarianism. Because Miami-Dade, while, yes, there's a big Cuban vote, the bigger, newer votes are people who have left other South American dictatorships like in Venezuela and others. And when they hear someone like Tim Walz say socialism is just being like a nice neighbor, no, that scares them to say, I'm not voting for anybody who thinks socialism is a good thing. And Harris gave people, let's just be honest, she never got elected to this position. It wasn't very American in the whole process. And every question she got, including from Anderson Cooper, was she never had an answer to. All we knew was her policies were going to be liberal, and that's because she was going to be advised by a bunch of kids putting in liberal policies because she had no actual beliefs. People really didn't like her. And the truth is, in America, you don't get elected if people don't like you or don't think that you're going to protect them. Sometimes you do elect the tough guy that you may not always want to be around and hang out around, but is going to do the best for you because he wants to do the best for everybody, and he's a tough guy. He's going to get on. The Houthi rebels have already called for a ceasefire in the Red Sea. He's not even president yet. He's president-elect, and these terrorists are running underground.
Yeah, I think this is a big moment, and you can't underestimate how wild it is right now.
Yeah, and I want to say this too, because this is still, like I said, if President Trump wins, we are still in a dangerous time. Okay, they are down on their luck today. They are. Okay, that's going to be today, but they're already going to start thinking, how can we thwart him? How, if they truly believe that he is a threat to democracy, how could they just let this go? Right? Even if the American people are, in their mind, just ridiculous and absurd that they would vote for him. So what do they have planned? And how do we prepare for whatever onslaught's coming? Well, let's get that House number as high as we can. So let's get those votes counted. Let's get that Senate number as high as we can. And groups like ours, the legal groups like ours, are ready to go today, like I said we would. I told you I think it could get very dangerous between now and Inauguration Day. Now, we got a wave election. So it wasn't like they barely lost. And the Democrats can't claim that. They got destroyed. It wasn't like, oh, the map just looks bad. If you actually look inside the votes within the map, they were nowhere close in a lot of these states. They were way off. They were losing suburban Philadelphia by percentages. I mean, these were places that should have been walk in the park for them. But again, we have to be ready because we know people like Adam Schiff are heading to the U.S. Senate. Yep. There's still an opportunity. There is still a chance they take the House, the Democrats. Will they be impeaching President Trump every way, even though they're with a Republican Senate? I just want to be ready to push back hard because I want President Trump and his team to be able to implement as many policies, get the right people in place as they can as quickly as possible. And we set that tone starting today. And that's why we encourage you to support us at aclj.org. Remember, they didn't want him on the ballot, and we beat it back at the U.S. Supreme Court. That's how scared they were of Donald Trump, truthfully. Truthfully, they didn't want to run against him again. That should have told you a lot right there. But then second, they wanted people to vote who were not citizens, and they fought that through the DNC, and we beat that back. And then, they thought, if you file those, though, the Hispanics will vote for you. They don't like you. The truth is, American people who come from Hispanic origin or Latino origin are Americans. They don't want people who shouldn't be voting to vote because that cancels out legal votes and their votes. So their issues, their ideas, their hopes and dreams for their families are all the same. We're all pretty similar. You might be in a different spot in life. You might be dreaming bigger than others. But we all, families, came here for the same reason and have fought for this democratic republic for the same reason. The FOIAs, the attacks on whistleblowers, we are going to be able to do a lot of work there, folks, to get rid of so much of the deep state bureaucracy. But we're going to need you to stand with us. They're not going to go easy. They're not going to go easy. And I still feel like let's be prepared for whatever the House Democrats and Senate Democrats, even though they'll be in the minority, it looks like, have planned to try and make this hell for 4 years for Donald Trump and his supporters. Because that is what they did, Logan, for the first 4 years, including people who are still on trial for working for President Trump 4 years ago.
Yeah, and President Trump himself. Let's go ahead. Let's though talk about the House. Can we have a bit of an update of where we actually are with that? I know people are all talking about that in the chat, saying, we need the House. Where are we? Where are things right now? We know that Vice President Harris is going to concede tonight. I think they said around 4 o'clock maybe is probably when.
4 o'clock.
4 o'clock Eastern. They keep moving the time, but 4 Eastern right now is when apparently she'll be making a speech to the country. Of course, not showing up last night to her big rally. I think, to me, I could see a lot of people who are really upset with that, saying that just showed her character right there, that you wouldn't walk out to the thousands of people that have been waiting there till midnight and just say, we're still counting the votes. We'll talk to you tomorrow. You couldn't even do that. It's a pretty... It's pretty shameful. I hate that. But, Will, where are we with that?
Yeah, so right now, Republicans have 204 seats. You need 218 to control the chamber. And there are a range of projections anywhere from 221 all the way down to 218 to keep the majority. Politico just sent a push notification, literally as you were talking, Logan, that Speaker Johnson and the GOP are bullish on holding the House in control, but it's still too close to call. Yeah. But it looks like, especially when you look at that map that John King showed, where not a single county in the entire country did Kamala Harris outperform Joe Biden 2020. That is very good for House races, because if you saw some blue pockets in areas, you could expect, maybe the House race there in that congressional district may be a little bit better. It's going to be close. There are definitely split ticket voters, especially in some of these blue wall states, but we will see what happens. And it does look good for a potential control of all three chambers and a win in the popular vote.